At the Radio St. George Facebook page, you can communicate with us, watch past and live shows, listen to live audio, and most importantly, be our friend. Like us on Facebook at Radio St. George.
Listen to Sacred Sunday Morning with Robert and Kathleen Briggs, Sundays at 8 a.m. and noon on Radio St. George, 100.3 FM.
Good afternoon. This is KDXI
Good
St.
afternoon.
George, Radio St. George at 100.3 FM. And we welcome you to Startup Nation. Up-and-coming startups, entrepreneurs go face-to-face with proven business leaders and talk funding, innovation, current business trends, technology, and social media's role in business. And now your host for Startup Nation, Ed Tracey.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Startup Nation. Is your headphone not working?
No, it's... Which one am I supposed to wear?
Can you hear in that one?
Yes.
Okay, then don't worry about it.
Okay.
It's going to be one of those shows, everybody. Welcome to Startup Nation. Ed Tracey here with my esteemed colleagues and guests this afternoon. Jessica Staples, our favorite redhead, and Leah Roberts, both with RSQ Dogs, RSQ Dogs.
That's right.
They're the big dogs at RSQ Dogs. Little dogs. Like a Shih Tzu and
a little fish.
Shih Tzu and a whatever the other little
I'll
dog
be a
is.
Why do
chihuahua.
I have to be a Shih Tzu?
Because you're hairier. I don't know.
I doubt that.
I don't. You know.
That's just never mind.
That's for another show. But it's already starting.
PG-13.
Yeah.
PG-13.
Keep it PG.
You know.
Not
Dogs
even
are-
13.
We're talking about hairy dogs. Whatever.
Yes.
So we're going to talk with these lovely ladies today about their involvement with a great organization that helps rescue dogs and puts them in hopefully good homes and nurses them back to health. I've seen some crazy pictures lately, and that little kitty that you nursed back to
Bernie.
Bernie.
Bernie is his name.
Bernie didn't look like Bernie was going to make it.
I
No,
did
we
not.
didn't think Bernie was going to make it.
Man, that's something.
Bernie made it. He's got an application in.
Ooh,
Yep, I heard he's got an application in. He might be going home
that's exciting.
To a home or to back to?
to a new home, his new home.
So what happened to that poor kitty? What was that?
We don't really know.
A rave?
It looks like
Do
burns,
do
but
cats have raves? I don't know.
They must.
They call them raves.
cat rapes.
I went to a rave last night. And,
Oh my gosh.
whew, I got tore up, literally. So, anyway, so you guys do great work over there, and I don't think a lot of people realize. And I know we've talked about this before. There's lots of organizations out there that help people, and great nonprofits here in the area. And there's probably a few, shelters in town too.
Yes.
Shelters, other
Nonprofit rescue groups.
rescues.
Nonprofit, but you guys are like bare bones over there. It's all love. Right?
Yep. All
Very much.
volunteers. No one's paid.
All volunteers. The entire board's volunteer.
Yes,
Mhm.
we're a
Yep.
501c3 nonprofit.
Yeah, we know that part. Thanks, Jessica.
Well, just
We got that part down.
Don't be mean to the chihuahua, okay? Just big rolls.
Okay. Don't be a Shih Tzu. So how long have you ladies been there? Now you both work for companies on the side. This is a volunteer thing for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you do for work?
I actually work in town for a company called LearnKey.
Shameless plug.
Anyway, and then I'm pursuing acting on the side.
Yes, and she is phenomenal.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. She's acting now. She's acting like she's happy to see me. And Leah, what do you do?
I do marketing
For?
for Marketing High
Shameless plug.
and a little bit of freelance blog writing on the side.
She does. And both of you you're the cat lady, right? Over there?
Yeah, cat, dog, medical marketing.
She's like a hybrid. She does like everything.
Yeah.
Just cat
And
whisperer.
the event coordinator.
Oh, that's right. You're
Yes,
now the
almost
event
forgot.
coordinator because you hung out with me too long and they put you in charge of events. And Jessica, what do you
Very
do
true.
over at Rescue Dogs?
I mainly work on the dog side because they really need that support, and I'm like I
with
help
volunteers.
manage. Yeah, I help manage social media and also help onboard new volunteers who want to train.
So how long has Rescue Dogs been around?
Ooh, well,
I think we've had a location for about 2+ years,
Yeah.
but it's been around for a while because Kelly Stokes, our
Kelly
founder, director, she I believe she did transport. So Rescue Dog was just for transport to get dogs from one shelter, one nonprofit to another. It was just
Networking.
transport. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
then-
pick them up from kill places too and all that stuff. do
Well,
you?
she was helping with that.
Okay.
But then when she actually founded Rescue Dogs and was able to get a solid address, we moved around a little at first to try to find a place that was zoned for a rescue. And when we finally did find a place, then we were able to start building on that. And so now Rescue Dogs, we basically, our mission statement actually is to be a voice for the voiceless, bettering the lives of forgotten, abandoned, and abused animals in rural Utah while inspiring the community to get involved. So a lot of animals that come to us from rural areas, they don't have the support of a city shelter. Like if you find a stray dog in St. George or Washington, you take it to the St. George Animal Shelter or the Ivans Animal Shelter. But in places like Hilldale, Colorado City, Enterprise, central rural places, they don't have animal shelters, and St. George Animal Shelter can't take in animals that are outside of their jurisdiction, outside of their area. So we found a need to rescue animals in those situations in rural areas, and so that's where we get most of our animals from now. In certain circumstances, we'll take animals out of shelters. Like, for example, we brought in 5 or 6 Chihuahuas a couple months ago who were in a hoarding situation in California. There were over 30 Chihuahuas being hoarded in an RV.
Who hoards Chihuahuas?
I know. It's me. I have 4 of them, but one of them is a foster.
Oh, boy.
But it's not as bad as 30. And plus,
that's a lot.
Ivans doesn't have a
That's
limit
a
to how many
sanitary
animals you can have.
problem. That's a safety issue. That's all sorts of things.
Well, and they don't get the proper socialization. So they all came to us terrified of human contact and interaction. So they're basically in rehab in foster homes right now until they can find their forever homes.
So when you
Have
say
any of them been adopted?
One of them's been adopted. I really want to adopt mine. I'm trying to convince my boyfriend.
what's his name? Let's say it on the air.
The dog or my
The
boyfriend?
boyfriend. What's the difference?
Well, the dog is more important.
Yes, this is true.
Oh,
Let's start there.
Yes, Iggy is the dog. Eric is my boyfriend.
Eric, take that dog.
Do it.
Do it now.
So now I've been over to the shelter a couple of times, and you got a lot of animals over there. I mean, there's a lot of dogs.
I
Yeah,
have
let's-
statistics right here.
Statistics. I want to hear you say the word rural again.
Rural.
That's very good.
Rural.
That was very good.
Just like a chihuahua.
So I'm not sure exactly how many dogs we actively have in our program right now. I think it's like 15 at least.
15
You had a
to 20
goat?
between foster
15 and
yeah.
20. Yeah.
There was a goat in there.
We had a goat one
Yeah.
time. We currently have approximately 85 adult cats in our program and over 50 kittens. You know why? Because people don't fix their cats and they need to fix their cats.
And we're having a kitten event, a kitten palooza event, July 13th. So
Where's
you can
this?
get pre-approved. It's going to be at 11 Arms.
Yep.
So you can get pre-approved to bring your kitten home that day.
Yeah.
Because we've got 50 plus of them. Just go online, look at our kittens. We're doing a kitten event.
Yep. Where did they
Need to
go
get-
to get pre-approved?
They go on the website.
Okay, so our
Website. Just apply for
Utah.
a kitten.
RSQDogsUtah.com?
.org.
.org. RSQDogsUtah.org.
You got it.
So when you get these dogs in, and I remember also I was there one particular night, and you had a bunch of dogs from Hilldale. What's the deal with Hilldale?
Pretty much all of them are from Hilldale.
Yes.
Cats and
Why
dogs,
is that?
all of them.
Hilldale in Colorado City, it's just a very rural area where they're used to treating animals like livestock.
Yeah. And they don't have animal control.
They don't have
either.
animal
They don't have
So
control.
shelters.
they're just running around the street. these
They
dogs.
just running around the streets.
And it's hard because, I mean, there are a lot of really good people in Hilldale and Colorado City who do take good care of their animals, but there's a lot of people who are not responsible. They don't get their animals fixed. They run amok. They breed. And it's just a problem.
That was always a problem for me. Run amok and breed.
How many kids do you have, Ed?
I don't remember. I believe I have 4.
12
Ooh,
plus.
you think?
I
That we know of.
Working on wife number 3?
Yes.
I am.
He's no longer allowed to go anywhere overseas
Nope.
He's banned.
Nope.
until he pays his child support.
Nope. Can't go. Can't.
I'm joking.
Country.
I'm just joking.
Geez, that would be terrible.
Oh, but some more statistics for
Please,
you, if I
please.
may.
Now that you've
If I may.
Crapped on me.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not.
You can get even with me. Okay, so in 2018, as a year in review, we rescued 179 dogs, 176 cats, 5 goats, 2 guinea pigs, 1 rabbit, 1 fish, 1 chicken, 1 cow, and a partridge in a pear tree.
Beat me to the punch. So that's how many animals you adopted out or just rescued?
I don't know.
Rescued and adopted out. Rescued and...
Because I'm sure you've had more than that in the shelter. I mean, if you've had, I get there on one particular day and you've got like 20 dogs in there.
Well, sometimes Best Friends will really help us out. Best Friends Animal Sanctuary, when they've got the room and the resources, they'll take some dogs off our hands. We reach out to other nonprofit rescue groups like the Las Vegas Lab Rescue Group and other rescue groups that specialize in certain breeds, and we'll try to network our animals to them so that we can take in more.
Like chihuahuas.
Like chihuahuas.
Now, sometimes you'll get animals in that just are not people friendly. Mm-hmm. And what do? You try and retrain them?
We try and work with them.
Yep.
If it's a very special case, which sometimes we have those situations, we'll try and reach out to Best Friends and see if because they can do full-time training for them, get them the training that they need, that they have time for, they have the resources for it. So we try and get our special needs dogs into Best Friends as soon as we can.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And a lot of them are really like some dogs, just like people. Some dogs don't like kids. Some dogs don't like other dogs. Some dogs don't like men. Says a lot about our male population. Dogs don't lie. But
I feel your vibes, Ed.
Wow.
Guys, just, we won't get into it. I'm shutting up now.
This is going exactly as I had planned. Exactly.
This just turned into a feminist movement real fast.
Feminist?
Feminist.
In a rural area.
Anemone.
You shall be my squishy.
I love you so much.
As you can tell, there's not enough oxygen in the studio.
Yeah, it's getting hot in here.
It is getting warm.
I almost choked on my own spit just then.
Okay.
We're good.
And when we were just talking before we got here, in addition to, we don't have our statistics yet for 2019, but we also this year have rescued a raccoon, 2 rats, and a python so far, in addition to our dogs.
What do you do with the python?
What
He got adopted.
Yeah.
And our rats got adopted. The raccoon we gave to a rescue in Idaho that will rehabilitate and then send them back out. He was a little baby.
It looks like rehab for raccoons out there. It looked really beautiful.
Yeah, it looks awesome. They do wildlife specifically out there. It was really cool.
So is this a 24-hour operation? I'd imagine you've got to have people pretty much around the clock or real close.
Pretty much from sunup to sundown. I mean, yeah.
Morning and night dog shifts, walking and, cleaning out their kennels, feeding, watering, taking them out to go to the bathroom, and then cats. That's kind of like a one big day-long task. Yeah. Because there's so many, you got to clean the whole room, and we've got senior cats, and we've got animals that are sick, animals in quarantine.
Why don't you get 2 big treadmills, put a cat on one and a dog on the other, and they can just chase each other and get their exercise?
We have a wheel. We have a hamster wheel.
I've seen it. And a cat wheel. You have a big cat wheel.
The cat wheel.
We'd probably get investigated if we started something like that. Dog chasing cat ring.
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
That'd be awesome.
That's awful.
So this is why I'm not in charge.
No, we have the dog side and the cat side.
yeah.
Yes.
But everybody
and then
gets
we have the
along
yard
with
sale
it.
side too.
Oh,
We
yes.
have the yard
Yes,
sale.
you have
We
a
do
yard
that
sale.
twice a month, and that's how we pay our utilities. And if we've got anything left, like our rent and utilities, if we've got anything left over, that's when we use it for our extensive amount of medical bills.
Yes.
And we're all, like we said, not paid. It's 100% donation. So we don't have any government funding. So we have to go and find
No grants.
no
Nothing like
grants,
that.
no funding. Like, it's all donations. And
Yeah.
so
And how do you
any
get your
help.
donations? Through the garage sales?
Do the
Or you-
garage sales, fundraising events if we can get them. When we have big
Farmers
cases.
market?
Farmers market, George Fest.
Street Fest? We don't
Yeah.
call it that word. Street
Oh.
Fest.
My bad.
So what are we calling it?
St. George Street
We're
Fest.
just going to start calling it Ed Tracey Fest.
I love you.
Ed Fest.
Ed Fest.
Ed Fest.
The Ed Fest.
Ed Fest.
Sounds like a disease.
Yeah, I know.
Ed Fest. Ed's festering.
I can't go tonight, you guys. I got Ed Fest.
Oh my goodness. Oh, it's so funny.
And we get a lot of donations from like special cases like Bernie.
Right.
Or if we get, those big animal cases, we'll send out a plea on Facebook, and people are really great about donating if it's a special case.
Because when a dog gets injured or cat gets injured or they're ill or whatever, you've got to take them to a vet.
Yes.
And the vet doesn't do it for free.
No, it's not cheap.
No.
Sometimes they'll give us a discount, or
Small.
like a small discount, but they've got to use their resources too.
Yeah. And a lot of it's emergency vets too, which is, if you're familiar with that, it's like twice the price of a regular vet.
Because they're up at 2:00 in the morning checking.
Yeah, and sometimes they got to keep them overnight, and they got to rehabilitate overnight, and so that's every hour costs money.
And we get a lot of parvo cases out of our rural areas, and parvo is a nasty virus, and it's
cats, right?
Dogs.
Oh, dogs.
And
Puppies.
It's hard to kill. Like the parvovirus can live on a surface uninterrupted, like doesn't matter what the weather is or anything, but it can live on a surface for up to 10 years. Like the only way to kill the virus is to bleach every surface where the animal has come into contact with that surface. It's nasty, and that's why it's such a problem. And the only way to get over it is to make sure they've got fluids. And a lot of times they won't drink. Like parvo makes them lethargic. They don't want to eat. They don't want to drink, and that's usually what kills them. And so they have to go to the vet, and they have to get an IV with fluids and nutrients. And even then, it's like a 50-50 if they'll actually pull through. And each parvo puppy that we bring to the vet costs us a minimum of like $1,000 a week.
It's like $2,000. It's
like
$2,000 to $3,000 just to save one parvo puppy.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's expensive. But we've had good success. I think we've had every parvo puppy we've taken in, we've saved.
Yep.
Wow.
We've
got
had
it
good
soon
success with those. So
That's
not
pretty
cheap, but they're, and they've all got great homes.
And
Just
cats
recently
get
had-
respiratory diseases and stuff like that. Cat sneezes. That's bad, right? I remember somebody telling me that.
They got sneeze
They're
problems.
not supposed to sneeze. Not really. I mean, animals can get allergies, but yeah. So they come in from Hillsdale a lot with upper respiratory problems, or we specialize in abuse cases especially, which are pretty common also in the rural areas of Utah.
Yep. Animals that have come to us that have been shot.
We have a lot of. We've got a couple of cats right now who have shots lodged in their bodies that are so close to their spine we can't remove them.
Really?
So and they said even one of them in the future as he gets older, because we can't rivet because it's so close to his spine.
We
he'll
actually
probably have to have his amputated.
Who was
in the
that
future.
dog that we had adopted out? Who was adopted out, was doing great,
Oh, that's
and then they
right.
found out the dog was playing, and then one day just
He got paralyzed from the mid body down, and we didn't know he had a bullet.
He had a bullet.
Hit his spine.
Yep. It was right on his spine, and after the family had adopted him out, when he was moving around and playing, it had worked its way closer and closer to his spine. We had no idea it was there, and it eventually killed him. It paralyzed him, and it's awful.
Yeah. There's a lot of animals that come out of there with pellets and
It's crazy.
bullets.
Target practice. That's what they're doing down there.
Yeah.
I guess
Yes.
Nuts.
And they like to crop tails a lot that don't need cropping. So you'll
Oh,
look at
that's
dogs in
true.
a lot that have half cropped tails for no reason. It's not even a breed that even
And they're just doing
has
that on
cropped.
their own.
They just do it for fun or whatever.
Yeah.
We've had calls about people cutting off tails down there that are getting gangrene, and we haven't been able to track them down, and it's a whole thing.
So who called? Does a neighbor call you and say, hey, they're abusing this dog, or this dog's running around the neighborhood? How do you
Yeah.
find these dogs?
Well, we have an impound there.
Yeah.
It's not like a government thing. It's just like a thing they set up to keep the dogs if they catch them.
Is it part of you guys, or is it part of the Hilldale City?
It's part of Hilldale City, and there's a really wonderful gal down there who brings them in, and she takes care of them, and she feeds them, and she waters them, and she does her best until we can bring them into our shelter. But it's basically just like, and it's not her fault. She doesn't have a lot of resources to help them with, but basically like cattle, I don't even know what you would call what they keep them in, but they're just very confined spaces.
Yeah, they're just like long dog runs, essentially.
Pens.
Yeah, just long pens. If they're big enough, they probably can't even turn around,
Yeah.
from my understanding.
And they'll call us. So they'll find the animal. The animals will either be owner released or they'll find them as a stray. And so they'll call rescue dogs and say, hey, we've got 2 or 3 dogs over here, or a goat. We need it out of here, and so we'll go.
You ever have anybody call you and say, hey, you've got my dog?
We've had a few cases of that.
We've had a few, but
Yeah,
but
we've
it
had
was
a
like
few.
13 days after
Right.
we had gotten them, and we're like, "Where have you been all this time? Why didn't you want to look
And
for
it's
your
usually
animal
like
before?"
the very sick ones too.
Right.
Real
Like
sick.
parvo. We had a
Oh.
couple. We had a parvo case recently. We won't talk about that.
Yes, yes, but the legal holding. It's like 5 days. We have to hold them for 5 days after they've been found as a stray, unless their owner released, to give a chance for their owners to pick them up. But they had to pay whatever medical fees have been accrued or the impound fee, and then they can,
Which they don't usually do.
Yeah, and if that 5 days is up and nobody's claimed them, we vet them, we put them up for adoption, and we can legally do that at that point.
Yeah. And owner release, when she says that, it just means that could be them contacting us saying that it's sick and they can't afford it, so they will sign a thing and they'll sign over the animal to us, to our care. So like legally, that is our animal now.
Yeah.
So we get quite a few of those too, I would say.
Yeah.
People have severe cases and they'll sign over their animals to us.
Any seniors or elderly folks sign over their dogs or cats? Or
I don't know. I'm sure.
I'm sure
that
yeah.
there
I'm
are.
not,
Yeah. Usually it's just people who can't afford to take care of them, in these rural areas. And a lot of times we get calls from Good Samaritans that live in the rural areas that are responsible pet owners who
Sure.
are like, hey, I just saw this dog. He's running around. Or, hey, I got this dog in. Can you guys take him in? And so
how many dogs do you pick up, or how many animals you pick up from that area down there, from Short Creek?
I would say 90%.
yeah.
Really?
If not
Of our
more.
animals
If
come
not more.
from Colorado City. and
Every once in a
Hildale.
while we'll get one from Enterprise or Veo, but really it's a majority of it is Colorado City, Hildale.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think? I mean, were they just going out and buying these animals and then just?
They breed. I don't know that they necessarily breed them on purpose. They just aren't vetted.
I did run into someone who I was like, if you want, we can help you get your cat fixed. And they were like, oh, well, the kids kind of like the way the kittens are when they're small. And that was their reasoning for not getting their cat fixed. And so a lot of it is, oh, we like the puppies, we
That's
like
why
the
I never
kittens,
got
but
fixed.
then they grow up and they don't want it. Oh, gosh.
Well, you should.
But and a lot of it is they can't afford it, so we
Right.
try to do low-cost spay-neuter
They're best friends.
through Best Friends.
We offer 10 slots or something like that,
Yeah.
10 slots a month for cats and dogs for them to just take them up to go.
So if they want to
And with
take their animal in,
transport's
they can.
free. No, yeah. So we go and pick them up, transport them to Best Friends, get them fixed, and transport them back.
Yeah.
And that's 10 spots. They just pay for the low cost of the spay or neuter.
So when you send somebody down to Hildale or Enterprise, those are all volunteers too. I mean, there's somebody goes down in their car.
Yep.
You
Their
guys-
gas, their car, goes down, gets them.
Picks them up, brings them back.
Yep.
How many volunteers would you say you have over there?
On our Facebook page, it says we've got 120. I'd say
Actively.
actively maybe
7.
half that.
Yeah,
Is it hard
there's
finding
a good
volunteers?
handful. It's hard to find people who want to regularly come in and help. It's always
Consistency.
great when people come in and help
Yeah.
for a day every couple of months or whatever, but we're looking for people who want to come in
Once a
almost
week.
like it's a part-time job, or once a week is
Even
great.
once a week, just so they're up to date on everything that's happening. Because even if you take a break for a couple of weeks, you come back and everything's
Everything's different.
changed.
Yeah.
All the dogs are different, all the cats are different, the procedures might be a little different.
And each procedure is different based on the animal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it's hard to find people who can dedicate and set aside and commit to that extra time
Right.
outside of their own busy schedules. And everybody gets busy. We've got some volunteers who will come seasonally, and they're really great and they help out as much as they can until they have to go home or they have to go to college or whatever. And
And
the
then we've
more
got
the
our
merrier.
our handful of regulars who are always there grinding day in and day out.
Every day, and they're the
Every
ones you
dang
see
day.
every night on the Facebook Live video. It's always the same 4 or 5 people, same person
Jessica.
taking the video.
There are volunteers that are in there way more than I am.
I can't imagine
She just
that.
documents it.
I just document it more. I just have more.
Because you're there
proof.
a lot. You're there a lot too.
Couple days a week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got volunteers that are there every single day. Like our director, Kelly Stokes, she's there
Every day.
every single day for
Sure.
at least 8 hours every day.
Does her
grinding
hubby,
it.
does her hubby help her out?
He comes in too. Yep.
He's
Yep,
an
and he's the
angel.
other director.
So patient.
Yeah, he's on the board as well.
Yeah.
How did you get involved in this?
Well, Kelly actually asked me when she started up the group. She said, "Hey, I'm starting a nonprofit. I need volunteers. I need help. You know, if you'd like to be a part of this, I'd love to have you. And I was like, heck yeah, I'll help you start this up. So
Is that how you found your boyfriend? He's in a kennel. Eric?
No.
I haven't even met this guy. Eric!
He doesn't have the patience to listen to the radio.
But he's had his shots.
Yeah.
Has he been vetted properly?
He needs a checkup. It's been a while. I'm not going to let him listen to this, you guys.
Oh my God.
He's got Ed
He's
Fest.
the best. Don't you worry, I'll take care of him at Ed Fest.
On Eric? Okay.
I'm actively having to control my filter here.
I know.
It really is
It
hot
is
in your head.
tough.
What's
It is
happening?
warm.
We need a, do you got air?
Fan
Fan in here?
We do. I'm your biggest fan. We got about 30 seconds before we go to our first break. So the website again is rsqdogsutah.org.
Got it.
Facebook page, Instagram.
RSQ Dogs.
Our RSQ Dogs for Facebook page. Instagram is RSQ_dogs.
Okay. And there's always dog of the day or animal of the month or a feel-good story about something that's going on. And
Yep.
so check those out. We're going to come right back. We're going to talk about how we can get people involved, how we can get people to help through donations, some of the challenges you guys have, and why Eric hasn't had his shots yet. So we'll be right back, everybody.
This week on American Parlor Songbook, join us for sketches, stories, and songs recorded at the Diamond Valley Arts Center in Hemet, California. We'll measure at a ratio of 1.618 to 1 on an episode about beauty. A public radio news host confuses poverty for fashion, retired actress Martha Young competes in the Miss Golden Years pageant, and singer Daniel Rosa from The Voice performs.
American Parlor Songbook, Sunday evenings at 9 on Radio St. George 100.3. Radio Dixie is sporting some new custom and embroidered swag, including bowling shirts, Dickie shirts, fleece jackets, t-shirts to be given away, cell phone wallets, bags, and a whole bunch more. And this is because of the Extreme team at Extreme Graphics. Screen printing, embroidery, vinyl, graphic design, Extreme Graphics with an X, a sweet sponsor of DSU Radio.
Outdoor furniture to endure the desert climate. Comfort, easy maintenance, custom made for your home. Outdoor Living, located at 735 South Bluff Street in St. George. Outdoor Living offers in-home consultation and design for custom outdoor furniture. Outdoor Living, a proud sponsor of the radio program here at Dixie State University.
Mom used to scream about Dad's drinking. It drove me crazy till Mom went to Al-Anon. If someone's drinking troubling you, you might be surprised at what you can learn in an Al-Anon or Alateen family group from people just like you. Call 1-888-4-AL-ANON or go to alanon.org.
Addiction is an epidemic, and the lines of communication need to be opened. I'm Heston Cherry, and Mondays at 3, we open up and share our stories from addiction to recovery to hope and resources. There is light at the end of the tunnel of addiction. Mondays at 3 on Radio St. George 100.3 FM.
Supported by the Department of Media Studies at Dixie State University. This is Radio St. George at 100.3 FM.
We welcome you back
We're
to
back.
Startup Nation.
Yes.
Here's your host, Ed Tracey.
Hi, boys and girls. Hello, America. We are back with Thelma and Louise, the rescue dog queens, Jessica Staples and Leah Roberts. You girls are great. You know I love you too. We hang out. We have fun.
We love you, Ed.
I know you do. Hey, let's talk about your date. How'd your date go?
Oh.
Spotlight on
Deer in the
Leah now.
headlights. It went great.
Awesome. Good. That's all I want to
No
know.
comment.
I don't want to know the rest.
I refuse to answer.
I got really, really warm in here.
Get jealous there, Ed?
Yeah, maybe. So Rescue Dogs, been around how long?
2017, I think.
2017. So not very long. Obviously, Kelly has a love of animals and wants to make sure they all get a chance in this world, and she does everything she can, and she's surrounded by people that equally want to see dogs have a chance, cats have a chance, goats have a chance.
Rats.
rats.
Bunnies, pythons, raccoons.
Please.
I still want to save a tarantula.
my eyes are
I'm
up
waiting. You hear that, Kelly? Tarantula.
My brother.
I want to save it. That's my mission this year.
Looking around for gimpy tarantulas.
I also have an operation right now.
I don't know how to
It's
respond to
Operation
this.
Get Zuri Adopted.
Yes.
We
Get
have
who?
this beautiful boxer named Zuri.
Oh,
She's like a brindle color.
Is she still there?
She's still there. She's about 2 years old. She is the sweetest freaking thing. I call it Operation Get Zuri Adopted. Because she's
Can
got
you
some
shorten that?
issues.
Because that's a lot to say.
You're a lot to say. Cut me off, Ed. I'm talking about Zuri.
All right, Zuri. Operation Get Zuri Adopted.
Look up Zuri on her website. She's cute.
Yes.
She's a sweetie pie.
RSQDogsUtah.org.
Yeah.
And she's good with kids? Good with...
She needs work with kids. I've seen her interact with kids amazingly, and I've seen her not.
Yeah.
So kids are hit and miss. Other dogs are hit and miss. She does need training. She's never had a training in a day in her life. So she's a typical rescue dog. She's going to need work.
Where'd you find
she's
her?
Like the lovingest thing. Probably Hilldale.
I think. I don't remember. It's been so long.
We've had her a long time. And Ellie was our first rescue dog. Ellie's been there since we opened our...
Like 2 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, so she's been there for about 2 years.
How old is she?
I think with
She's like 6 now.
6 or
Six
7.
or 7.
She's been doing amazing in her foster, but
Oh,
she
yeah.
had some issues with strangers beforehand, and
So do I.
yeah, you do not.
Don't look at me.
We're going to have to put you in a play group all by yourself, Ed.
I know.
Put me in that little pit in the middle,
Yes.
and I can stand on that slide and look.
Yeah, there's a little slide.
Yeah.
There's a pool in there with the balls in it.
In case
We
you
can
need
play
some
fetch.
balls.
Do you want to play fetch?
No, thanks. I'm seeing somebody. Going right down the tubes.
Yeah, all right.
So, all right. So, any other dogs that you have particular fondness for? Because I know. Here's what I know about you two. If you see a dog in there, it's been there a while, or a cat, you take it home. Like you're the crazy cat lady. This is a crazy Chihuahua lady over here.
Yeah, I've adopted 2 cats since being at Rescue Dogs, and a dog, but the dog was not from Rescue Dogs.
Right.
She's a rescue. So I've adopted 3 animals since I started volunteering.
And I'm just a foster failure. I foster Chihuahuas, and then I fall in love with them, and I adopt them.
Yeah.
Have you fostered some before? I didn't even know that.
The other 3 that I have, I was fostering through Paws, and I fell in love with them, and I adopted them, and now I'm falling in love with Ziggy, my foster Chihuahua.
Paws. So Paws is another organization
Yes.
in town. You guys work with Paws and...
I used to volunteer with Paws.
Okay.
And then Rescue Dogs just really needed the support and the help, and so I focused my main efforts over there.
Do you work hand in hand with each other? Do you kind of try?
Not a ton. No.
I've got friends that are still over at Paws that volunteer over there. It's hard to collaborate with 2 different rescues because we're all trying to get, the animals adopted, and there's just not enough space or enough
And I think
venues
we
to do something that big.
different things too. I think
Yeah.
they take them from shelters in town locally
Yeah.
for the most part, right?
Yeah,
And ours is all rural. So we focus on different areas.
Yeah. But hey, rescue's rescue.
It's true.
Yeah.
We totally
true.
support it.
Yeah.
So, where we talked a little bit about where your money comes from, where your donations are all coming from. How do you? What else do you do? What kind of fundraisers are you doing besides your yard sales and your adoption events? What you doing? You have any donations online?
Yes, people can donate online at RSQDogsUtah.org. A lot
You can also Venmo us, RSQ-Dogs.
Yes.
Venmo, we take donations anytime. You just feel it in your heart that day and you want to donate, please do.
Money, food.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yes, we take food.
food.
Too.
I take food.
We do have
I
an
take
Amazon wish list, I think.
We do, yes.
As well.
I
There's
don't
a
know
lot
where
of
that's at, but we do.
Yes.
What are some of the big things you're always in need of, besides money?
Food.
Food?
Food and money.
Food, money.
And food can be
toys.
different for every animal,
Yeah.
right? I mean, there's some animals can't have certain things, right?
Yeah.
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 Gluten-free,
Gluten-free.
vegan.
Stuff for
Vegan's the way
heavier
to go.
animals that need to lose weight, or stuff that has more protein, or puppy food, or
Small breeds.
kitten food, kitten formula.
Food.
Yeah.
Yep.
And people can donate towards something specific if they're like, hey, I want to help that specific dog, or I want to send this to that specific animal. Don't hesitate to message us and let us know. Just say, hey, I want to send Zuri a cake or some toys or something. You know, we'd be happy to do something like that too.
So I know you love working over there and volunteering. What are some of the challenges that you see day to day in an organization like that? What are some things you think could be?
Besides money, I would say not having enough hands.
Yeah, having enough
having
help.
a lack of volunteers.
And how hard is it to become a volunteer?
It's very easy.
You go on to rsqdogsutah.org.
I don't think you've mentioned that website. What is it?
rsqdogsutah.org.
Okay.
Yes. And then you go into the website and you click on like get involved or how can I help? And then you'll be led to fill out a volunteer application form. And once that is reviewed and processed, you know, if you want to volunteer with the dogs, they'll send it to me and I'll process it and try to get people set up to volunteer. If they want to volunteer with cats, they get sent to someone else. I don't know. I think
Margot or Tammy.
Yeah, I think
their
Margot or
names.
Tammy.
That's what I was
They
thinking.
tackle that
Margot
together.
or Tammy.
And a lot of times people want to cross-train, kind of like Leah.
You know who they
I
are.
have no idea.
They're great. They
Couple-
are really good.
I think she's a woman, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I'm pretty
They're
sure
both women.
I know who they are.
Yeah, but it's hard because we understand people are sacrificing their free time and a lot of people are really busy. Like, I've gotten to the point where I have no social life. I'm like, if you want to hang out with me, you've got to either work where I work
Or volunteer with me.
act with me in a film.
Dating is hard.
Or scoop crap and hang out with dogs. Like, that's the only way.
But there's a lot of joy that comes from volunteering. I mean,
Oh, yes.
you gotta feel like you've accomplished something.
Yes.
Working with those
Like
animals.
every time, I mean, it may be hectic when you're there or when you're sacrificing so much of your free time. But when you drive home after a long day of doing all that, like you feel good because you know you did something to help. Because if, you know, those animals, they can't choose. They didn't choose the life that they have and they don't have a voice. They don't have a choice and the work doesn't stop. You know,
True.
somebody's got to do it.
Social media. What do you guys do? You're the social media queen over here. So what do you do? What,
I don't actually do that much social media
I know
for
you
rescue
suck
dogs,
at
though.
it. You're really bad at it.
I like the technical stuff. Okay.
What, turning on the lights?
Building websites.
Yes.
Oh.
Marketing.
Marketing.
Event
But
coordinator.
social media, yep.
What are you doing? What do you do besides your website to get the word out?
Facebook. That's a big one.
Facebook's huge.
And why do you think that is? Just because you can actually portray what's going on with a particular animal? You can.
Yeah. You can
And
take...
people are very involved in Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook's one of the biggest social media platforms out there. And a lot of people are on it. A lot of people pay attention. They love the animal stories.
We should do
Animal
a
everything.
video of a little sad looking dog, and in the back I go, in the arms of...
We should just put you in a kennel and take a little video of your sad
Just sit
face.
there and whine.
You're like pushing away the dog. Adopt me. I'm single and I need a
Yeah.
wife.
Poor dog.
In search of my third wife. Wife.
Life.
Yes. The transformation is almost complete.
Oh man. What else? What else you guys have that over there that you need help with where do you see it going in the next couple of years? I mean, you going to grow out of that space that you're in?
That depends.
Oh.
I mean, because like we have limited money, and right now where we are, rent is pretty good, and we've been really, really established. I mean, if we had millions of dollars, we could probably purchase some land in a zoned area where we could build a more permanent place with more space, and bring in more people. But for right now, the spot that we're at is really good. It's spacious enough.
We've really done a lot of good work on it.
yeah.
If you haven't seen Cat World,
Oh, my
you have to go
gosh.
see Cat World. It is amazing.
Love
I've seen
Cat
it.
World. It's like
Oh yeah, you know, it's awesome. There's little chairs and shelves all over the walls and super cute little cat decoration. We got a catio now that we had donated to us.
And cat solitary.
cat apartments.
Yeah, we have cat apartments. Yep. The dog room looks great. We got cute little trees in there and dog pictures. And we have a little meet and greet room with a cute little rug and nice couch that you get to meet your potential dog that you want to adopt.
The cats seem like they get along in that cat world over there. There's a couple of them that don't play well with others.
Yeah.
Right? But
It's amazing how sweet they are for being
Yeah.
it's
like
when
everybody
they
just
get
has
with the
this
other
kind
cats.
of idea with cats that they're not nice or cuddly, but they are like the sweetest thing. They just love people and they get along great with each other.
Yep.
They're They're awesome.
You walk into Cat World and they're like, "We welcome you to."
Yeah, they all
Munchkin
swarm you.
and la 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 la, and they like they seriously they'll like swarm you.
Yeah.
How's that song again?
Just watch Wizard of Oz. La 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 la.
Ay. Have you ever?
It's that little giggle. A little creepy.
You ever have an animal that you adopt out and ends up coming back?
Yes.
Pretty often. Not super often, but
Not often.
enough.
It's weird because sometimes it'll come in groups.
Yeah.
Like we'll get.
Well, and I think it's important to, because that does happen sometimes, I think it's important to reiterate that it does take time.
Yeah.
For bringing a new animal home is hard and it takes time. They have to, you're a stranger. They're in a strange place with strange people they've never met before. So they're going to do naughty things because they don't know where they're at. They're scared. And it just takes time, and they're rescues. They don't have any training. You have to be patient.
Yeah.
And it takes more than just your 7-day trial. It takes more than
Having
a
a
week.
kid.
It is like having a kid, and it takes a lot more time than people realize.
Yeah. Time and patience and.
Yeah, you have to be really ready and committed. Yep. Don't get a dog, please, if you're not ready or committed.
Yes.
You think dogs are harder than cats?
Yes.
Yes. Absolutely.
But cats do need to adjust, too. We've had cats brought back just as often as dogs.
I think redheads are harder than blondes.
La 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 la. That's gonna be my plug from now on.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, we'll get people that return animals, and usually it's because they escaped too much. Because
Or
Well, that's not the dog's fault.
or
That's
they
the dog's.
peed on something, or they
peed
chewed on something.
That's
Or they bark too much,
or people are moving,
or they dug in their yard. It's just simple things that could be so easily fixed.
That dogs do.
That dogs normally do. Absolutely.
And you yell at them, they're like, what?
They don't understand. Yeah.
You're like, how? Blah, 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 blah. And that's all the dog hears. Blah, blah, blah.
And then he just goes back to chewing on your shoe.
Yeah. They're like, "Are you done talking?" Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
This is tasty. So, do you have a lot of men that volunteer over there?
We've got some
Small handful.
Yeah, we've got
Sheldon Dempsey.
Sheldon Demke
Sheldon,
with
Tom,
The man, the myth, the
Adrian.
legend.
Yes, Tom Demke,
Kelly's husband Taylor.
Jonathan,
John.
Yep.
Don does sometimes.
Don Gilman.
We've got about
Robert.
Don Gilman.
I mean, less than 10 dudes. And I think
Dudes.
probably the rest are female. We would always love more dudes, though.
I know, it's weird that it's
dudes are
mainly
handy, and we need
females.
handyman jobs. And so even if you come and you don't have to necessarily work with the dogs, if you're a dude, we can always use handyman stuff.
Yeah.
You need things fixed or things upgraded or like tile laid or whatever it might be.
Heavy things lifted.
Yes, yeah.
Not to say that women
Dudes are
can't lift
welcome.
heavy things, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I can't lift heavy things.
I'm not very good at it either. But handyman stuff is awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, we've got a couple ladies whose husbands do a few things here and there, and we've got a handyman that is with our landlord, or I don't know quite what his situation is, Dan, but
yeah,
he does
Dan
great.
okay.
Dan will fix anything we need fixed, and it'd be great to have a lot more hands. We could do
I
painting.
pick things
and
up, I put
tile
things
and-
down.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, sometimes that's how it goes. Hey, can we have somebody come over here and pick up this heavy thing and put it down somewhere else? Thank you.
Where do you get all the stuff for the garage, the yard sale, whatever you call it, the estate sale?
People donate it.
Just donate it?
People donate it.
Hop
They'll
it over the
contact
fence.
us.
It's like a DI. You know, you just come over and you drop off all your stuff that you don't want.
We don't take clothes right now, though.
No.
Well, clothes are kind of tough.
I mean, within,
Yeah, clothes are
we,
tough to sell.
We appreciate donations. Somebody donated used air filters from their car once. And
Oh, man, I was looking for those.
Just things that other people could use that can be repurposed.
Yeah. And if we can't use them, even if you do drop off clothes you didn't know, anything we don't use, we give to the DI.
Yeah.
So it's a win-win either way. That's one less trip you have to take. You have to take. We'll take the trip for you.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Or we'll wear it if we like it.
Yeah. Yeah, the volunteers kind of pick through.
We buy it, though. We do buy it.
Yes, we do buy it. Don't get it twisted.
That's awesome.
I just bought an awesome mason jar.
Ooh.
It's pretty great. Still drink out of that. That was important. I thought you want not to know that, Ed.
Thank you.
Okay.
So it must have been a big mason jar.
Oh, it was a big one. Boy, was it.
Sweet mother of pearl. I was going to ask you something about the yard sale. Something that was
When it is?
Yeah, how often do you have those? But that's not what I was going to ask you.
Twice a month. Saturdays,
When's
twice a month.
when's
So
the
it's
next
every
one?
other Saturday. I believe we just had one this Saturday, didn't we?
Yes.
So one Saturday you have farmer's
not
market,
this-
next Saturday you have the yard sale? Is that what you're doing
And
right
we
now?
also are doing cat yoga. Cat yoga is a good one. I know. So that sometimes falls on the same day as the yard sale.
What the heck is cat yoga?
Basically, they clear out the main area of the cat room, and people can sign up and register, and they bring their yoga mats.
Yep,
And
it's just a $15 donation to book your spot.
And cats
Bring
crawl
your
all
own
over
mat,
you.
and you just, we have a yoga class right there, and the cats are like hopping on your back, and they're underneath, or they're laying on your back or your belly.
And you don't even have to be good at yoga. You can just sit there and you can just sit cross-legged the whole time.
Yeah, if you really want
Why
to.
not? Why not dog yoga?
That
A
would
little
be
bit
chaotic.
rambunctious.
Hey, I call the cat room the decompression chamber because after being in the dog room with all the barking and the craziness, you go into the cat room and it's like,
And we've got couches in there.
yeah,
Yes, you
Come
do.
over and lay on the couch and just let the cats crawl and just love on them. It really is like
That's awesome.
therapy.
it is.
And we've got lots of kittens. We have a kitten corner.
Yes.
Lots of little kittens that run around in there and play with each other. And
Now, did they come in or did the cats give birth there?
depends. If we get pregnant moms, we'll find fosters for them. They give birth there. And then when they're old enough, come back to the center.
Gotcha.
And then we also get litters
Yeah.
from people, or moms and litters from people who gave them up, or we don't usually find cats at the impound per se, but
Yeah, we usually get called by people.
yeah, cats are usually
reproduce
phone
like
calls.
crazy.
They do. Yeah.
Cat people are crazy?
No, cats
Cats reproduce like crazy.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
It's kitten season.
Are there a lot of
was.
feral cats around here? I really haven't seen any.
Sometimes,
There's
and you
quite a
can
few.
actually tell if they've been fixed because their ears will be tagged. If they've been fixed and re-released as a feral cat, one of their ears will be clipped so it's flat.
You mean like this? Like this? Anyway.
Well, I can't see it.
You're not fixed, Ed, so.
No, you're not fixed. No.
No,
And
I'm
my,
not.
in fact, my neighbor Jessica and I, her name's Jessica as well.
She must be a wonderful person.
She is a wonderful person. And we both, we put out some cat traps because there are like 4 what we thought were feral cats in our neighborhood. And we caught 2 of them and found out that their ears were clipped. So they were already fixed. We don't have to worry about it, which is nice. But yeah.
Well, that's great. How do you get them out of the cage without taking them off?
It's not easy.
Gloves.
Yeah, gloves. Heavy duty gloves.
So
Make it nice day.
you've got good handful of volunteers. You got a good staff over there. How do people find you guys? If they want to come by, they want to go to the garage sale, they want to go check out dogs, where are you?
Our address, I'll look it up.
Yeah, I know.
Stall
It's
for me,
off
Leah.
of Sunset. So if you're going down Sunset and
Down
Maverick's on
Sunset.
your right, you turn right at Maverick. We're like 2 or 3 streets down.
Is that Dixie Drive?
Dixie Drive. Yep. So you turn on Dixie Drive
1050.
at Maverick.
Yeah. 1838 West, 1020 North, Unit B.
1020 North, yeah.
Yeah.
So turn on Dixie, then turn on 1020 North, and it's like one of the first buildings on the
Yeah,
left.
it's the second building on the left.
Yep. And it's easier to schedule. It's like, especially with dogs, if you want to meet a specific dog, message us on Facebook, go onto our website to find our email us and say, hey, I'm interested in scheduling a time to come look at your dogs or to come meet a dog. Because a lot of times since...
Do you put all the dogs up so people can see what dogs you
Yeah,
have?
they're all on the site. And you
They're
can
all on
even
the
find
website.
us on Google, too. You just type in Rescue Dog. We have a Google listing. You can call us, email us.
And Pet Finder is an amazing
Pet Finder.
resource. I call it Tinder for animals because petfinder.com, and you can actually it'll list all of the adoptable animals from all the different shelters and
Hi, I'm a
rescues in the
Siamese
area.
cat. I like long walks
Exactly.
in the park.
And you can
I do that
search
for, I
by-
do some of the cat bios, and I'm like,
I like long
some
walks.
of them are funny, yeah.
No, but you can filter it by like breed, size, age, to find something that you're looking for.
Yes.
Cool.
And we've got everything from puppies to middle-aged to seniors. We've got a few senior cats. We like to take some of the senior cats from Vegas, the Animal Foundation, the kill shelter down there. So we take little senior cats there, from there sometimes. We just had one who was covered in fleas, and he's an old man. So it's good, though. And then they live in their little cat room, and they don't do much. They're old.
Yeah.
You would know.
Here we go. I was waiting. Jerk.
This show didn't go how Ed thought it would.
No, No, it went exactly.
And Ed scratched his head and wondered why he did this.
It went exactly as I had planned. Girls are so funny.
Things took an interesting turn that day.
Narrating a book.
Ed was never seen again. Well, you've got me at a loss for words now. Thank you. This
Mission accomplished.
Rarely
Rescue
happens.
Dogs for the win. La 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 la.
So
La 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 la. Wait, that's Christmas music.
that's
Wait,
the
what
wrong.
was the one you were doing?
Wait, what was I saying? Was the Wizard of Oz?
It was
La 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 la.
La 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 la. There we go.
You gotta do the laugh.
What?
Yeah, you did. You keep doing a laugh
This
after you
little
do it.
sinister. That wasn't. That was special. What? Apparently, there's no oxygen in this room.
There's
today.
not. It's hot in
It's
here.
very warm in this room
It
today.
is hot.
I've only had coffee today.
Sustenance. Beers later. No, sorry.
So volunteers, donations, look at the animals. They can go RSQDogsUtah.org, right? Facebook, again, is...
RSQ Dogs.
Yep,
That's it.
RSQ. If you type in RSQ Dogs, you'll see our logo. It's black and blue, I believe, with
Two
the
little dog,
yeah,
a dog, and
and
a cat that's blue.
and Instagram RSQ_dogs.
And that's also our Venmo.
Yep.
Also Venmo.
That's also Venmo. RSQ_dogs.
Oh, and one of our dogs, Ellie, who's been with us the longest out of everybody, she's got her own Instagram page, I believe.
She does?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
It's
So does Dusty the cat. That
Oh,
one's
he does?
Miracle
I didn't know
Dusty.
that.
Follow him. He got an application in though. He's
Is that
our
the
cute
cat
little,
that you had?
Yeah, the one-eyed one.
The one you still have that cat?
Well, he's at Cat World.
Right.
Yeah, but he just got an app, so hopefully that goes well. He's got a page. Ellie's got a page.
Yeah, Ellie's is Queen_Ellie Bell. So Queen_ELLIEBELLE.
Yes, Ellie is amazing.
How old is Ellie?
6 or 7.
Yep, 6 or 7. Been there the longest. She had a thing with strangers.
What
She's
kind of
doing well.
dog?
She's in foster. She's a healer mix.
That's the black one.
Yeah, the
and white.
black and white. She's got the black spots. She's a sweet dog.
And she's a great
amazing.
hiker.
Oh, she's
You go out
incredible.
hiking if like with a group of people, and she'll run back and forth between everybody to make sure everybody's
And
doing
she'll wait
okay.
for you. She'll make
She'll
sure you're
wait.
okay. She'll wait for everybody. She's phenomenal.
She's a good girl.
Yeah, Zuri's a good girl too.
Yes, she is.
Who else? Who else can we? Mr. Prince.
Prince.
Prince is a beautiful one. He's like a shepherd mix.
Yeah.
And he's got a thing with men and some strangers. He's got some training he needs to work on as well. So these three, Ellie, Zuri, and Prince, are kind of our harder cases. So we're working with them. We'd love to get them homes.
There was a dog there when I was there that was in, I called it solitary, the one room where the bottom of the door.
That was Prince.
That's Prince.
That's
yes,
Prince.
that's Prince. Yeah.
Yeah,
He
Prince
needs
didn't
some
like me.
special work. We're getting training for him. We have an awesome volunteer, Valerie, that's been
Yeah.
taking out her
What
own
causes
personal
that?
time.
What causes a dog to be like that?
I think
Abuse?
I think abuse.
And especially towards men and bigger, like large, tall people, he seems to have a
Like
problem
me?
with. Yeah, he didn't like you, so yeah.
And that's amazing because
Sometimes people
It's okay. He
Everybody
didn't
likes
like me
me?
the other day. He loves me. We've never had a problem. Then the other day he didn't like me. And then we went on a hike and now we're friends again.
well, I
so.
understand that. That happens with me and you
Hiking helps
sometimes.
everybody.
Sometimes I
It
don't
does.
like you either.
Awkward silence. Anyway, so yeah, look up Ellie, Zuri, or Prince on our pet finder. They're on Facebook. There are 3 problem dogs. If you have but they're amazing.
Is it
Don't-
expensive to adopt an animal?
No,
and
I
it
don't know
depends
the
on the
exact
animal
prices.
too. Yeah, I don't know I'm not
I know
positive.
cats. I think adult cats are $65 for adoption, and kittens are $75.
We're
our
out
time
of
is up.
time.
Oh my god.
RSQDogsUtah.org, everybody.
Got it.
Leah Roberts, Jessica Staples. Love you girls. Thank you for coming to the station and
Thanks for having
making
us.
my life absolutely miserable today. No. Startup Nation, everybody. Thanks for coming around. Check out Rescue Dogs. Go adopt a pet today. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening to Startup Nation with Ed Tracey. For video and or audio of the show, go to YouTube or Facebook, Podbean or Spotify, and search Radio St. George. Or go to Radio